Okay, another tough loss, close game. We've had six games this year decided by a touchdown or less. We're 3-3 in those games, and so not good enough. Obviously, we got to be better. And thought some bright spots. The defense played exceptionally well. Came up with 6 sacks and did a great job of limiting a very prolific offense to very low numbers. And so very, very impressed with the way the defense flew around and played. Got great pressure on the quarterback. Coverage up the field. That's another positive. The secondary, the progress of the secondary this year, they've seemed to have taken a step forward each week as we've had the season go by. Special teams was another positive. Hackett kicked the ball exceptionally well. We continue to lead the league in net punt, which is a field position weapon for us. Just a big advantage for us in the punt game both ways, our punt return game as well as our punt game. Good to see Andy Phillips make a couple kicks. Actually made 3 kicks. We took one of them off the board, but he resumed his kicking for us, his positive kicking for us. Not a lot to talk about offensively. Didn't get much done. Give credit to the Arizona State defense. They played exceptionally well. It was a game. It was another defensive struggle, much like the USC game. It was a tale of 2 defenses going at it and making plays, and not a lot of offensive fireworks on either side of the ball. And so that was really the deal. I mean, we got to play better on offense. We all understand that. We got to continue to play well on defense and special teams. We haven't arrived in those areas by any means. Every week's a new challenge, but there are some positives to come from the game. But we still have got to find a way to get some more offense generated. That's been a problem of ours as of late. Questions?
Kyle, did Stanford give the obvious blueprint against Oregon about limiting possessions for the Ducks offense?
Well, I think everyone would like to do that. That plays into Stanford's schemes very well. I mean, they've 2 years in a row now. They've got it done against Oregon, and I did watch that game. When it was being broadcast back when it was. What was it, Thursday? Not Thursday nighter, but anyways, exactly. Yeah, the Stanford pounded them with a run game, converted a bunch of third downs. It seemed like every third down Stanford had was 3rd and 1. I mean, because they'd done such a good job running the football on 1st and 2nd down, and that's the best way to defend that offense is to keep it on the sideline. And Stanford did a great job of that. They played exceptionally well on defense in addition, and give credit to Stanford for having a great performance against Oregon.
Coach, you mentioned looking at the fourth quarter on Saturday, the offensive line had some of the biggest issues. What specifically are you looking for in terms of improvement from the line play this week?
Good question. Improved technique across the board. Too many mental errors. We've way too many blown assignments. On so many of the plays in the game on Saturday, we have missed assignments on the offensive line, and that's leading to lack of production. And so we've got to tighten things up. We've got to coach them better. It all starts with coaching and with myself. I'm responsible for everything that goes on in the program, and so we've got to do a better job of preparing those guys. And it wasn't any one particular position or player. It was across the board. Everyone took their turn making mistakes, and it wasn't just the offensive line. We weren't particularly good at any position on offense in the game on Saturday. The receivers didn't play well. The running backs were just average at best. The O-line, I mean, we were, it was just one of those days where nothing was going very well for us on that side of the ball.
How do you feel Travis Wilson threw the ball against Arizona State?
Well, he didn't have time. It's tough to get a good read on it, Kyle, because he didn't have any. I mean, the rush was showing up in about 1.8. They're in his grill. And so, in fairness to Travis, I don't think you can make an assessment on how he was throwing the ball. I know he threw it very well all week in practice, I can tell you that much. And so if you don't give the guy a chance to throw the ball, then you're not going to get a very good evaluation. So I guess I can't answer that.
Coach, as frustrating as last season was, how much of a shell shock is it to find yourselves basically in the same situation this season?
Yeah, it is. And I can tell you, and I've said it I think 1 or 2 other times this season, we were a better football team this year than we were last year. The record does not reflect that. This team, Arizona State, we went down there last year and just got shellacked. I think it was 40-6 or whatever the case may be. And so we're standing toe-to-toe with the best the conference has to offer. I said that at the press conference on Saturday night. But we got to find a way to get more wins. I mean, we're more competitive, but it's not about being competitive. It's about getting W's. And so that's the next hurdle we got to get over is finding a way to win these games. But like I said, last year, a lot of the games we weren't even in, and so we made progress. But nobody cares unless you get the W. Nobody cares what else is going on.
I know you mentioned the protection on Travis wasn't good enough for him to hit, but are your receivers doing enough to get themselves open?
Nope,
Is there enough separation?
absolutely not. Gloved up at receiver, and I mentioned that. They just, not in one position group on offense, played well. And even had the protection been better, many times there was nowhere to go with the ball. And so it's a concerted effort across the board on offense to get better this week. We've got to get better at every single position group.